Imagine you are knee-deep in data management, but your go-to tool is holding you back. That's exactly what happened with the standard duplicate finding tool in Dynamics 365. In this episode, my brilliant coworker takes matters into his own hands. He's crafted a groundbreaking application specifically for Dynamics 365, addressing all those frustrating limitations that we just accepted as a part of the deal. Stay tuned as he walks us through the journey of developing this essential tool, insights, and best practices. Let's find out how to turn your data management from a chore into an asset.
Hello everyone. Today, I want to show you a prototype of our custom duplicate search that we have developed. I think everyone has encountered the standard duplicate search at some point, which has the most inconvenient interface. It's very hard to understand anything here, and in principle, it's impossible to configure it. There's no way. So, we decided to develop our own duplicate search, which would be much more convenient and help to detect duplicates just as well as the standard one. Our development goals were, it's definitely a convenient interface that would allow us to solve the main problem of standard duplicate search. Secondly, it's simple integration, if necessary, the connection of our search to any other project. And third, the ability to configure, which would allow us to set rules for searching. After that, I started working on the structure and the work algorithm of our control. It was decided that the control would consist of two components. This will be a script and a web resource for us. The script will run onload of the form, immediately finding all possible duplicates in the background, following the specified rules. And after you save the form, a method will be triggered, which will check whether any changes have occurred in any of the fields we used to search for duplicates. So, if any of the fields we used have changed, we need to consider that duplicates found earlier may no longer be suitable for us. And we initiate the search again. If nothing has changed, then we'll consider all the duplicates found immediately as up to date. After checking, we open the web resource, pass it all the found duplicates, and display to the user. Users will be able to view all found duplicates. Additionally, if needed, they can open a duplicate separately in a new tab in detail to see more information. Not just the fields we've shown him. After we made version 1, we passed it on for testing. After a certain time of testing, it was decided to slightly expand the functionality and add the capability to send a deduplication request. It was done, and to me it seemed, in principle, everything is almost ready and working. But sadly, only up to a certain point. Because at the very end of my testing, I realized that I had missed one thing. Usually, there aren't many duplicates in the record. We estimated that we would have about 3, at most 5 duplicates. And roughly always, with that many, I tested it. But one time, by chance, I stumbled upon a record that turned out to have as many as 14 duplicates. Of course, this was a test environment, and in principle, one could ignore it since it usually contains test data, which doesn't match reality, but still decided it's better to play it safe and redo the logic. Because from the beginning, I planned to find duplicates in the script and transfer them to a website. That means our web resource was not supposed to interact with the system at all, just to display duplicates. But data transfer to the web resource is done via URL. And there are certain limitations on the size of the data. And this became a problem in cases where there are many duplicates. To fix this issue, it was decided to slightly change the workflow logic. That is, the script was no longer collecting information about duplicates. Sent to the web resource only the duplicate identifier. And this significantly helped reduce the amount of data being transferred and solved our problem. The web resource itself then retrieved a list of identifiers and, if necessary, extracted detailed information from the database and was used for display. Currently, this is the most current version of the control, but it's still adapting, improving, because new ideas always emerge, always something to invent, so to speak. Now I'll show you how it works with a real example. We have contact. We're making some changes on the form, try to save it, and end up getting a list of duplicates. As you can see, everything is clearly visible here. It significantly differs from the standard duplicate search. You can review the fields. Also, this all gets set up. There's an option to open a detailed page from the contact form. Also, if desired, you can view the company, for example, or who modified the record, that is, the user. And you also have 2 opportunities with the form itself, to send a deduplication request or just ignore, do nothing. To send a deduplication request, we must fill out the record's status. That means we must have 1 master and 1 duplicate is a must. If we don't fill it out, we can't send the request. After selecting the master and the duplicate, we can press the Request Deduplication button and our request will be sent. Now, I want to share with you a bit about integrating this control into other projects. So, integrating here is quite straightforward. All we need is to import our solution, connect the script on forms onload, and, if necessary, change the settings file. The settings file looks like this. We are specifying the entity we will work with. We are indicating whether we need to display an icon with initials. We indicate a list of rules to search for duplicates by, for instance, take the first, a list of fields. This will be the first list of rules it will look for duplicates in, meaning we have first name, last name, parent customer ID, DNL, telephone, 1 base. That means if there's a duplicate where all these 4 fields match with the record we currently have open, it will be recorded as a duplicate, and so on with the following. Next up is show columns. This means a list of fields we will display. The ones you saw on trial, I also had to add one more parameter, that is, columns for change. Because I encountered a situation where we use fields to search for duplicates, which are modified by a plugin. So they're not displayed on the form. And to be able to track that this field has changed, it needs to be added separately as a field on the form. This list. So this is telephone 1, unchanged, and this is the field used to search for a duplicate. It has the same essence, but here it's modified. And the last point is the header. Basically, just to show the record's header, first name, last name, because we can use different entities, and each entity can have its own header. That means somewhere their account name, for example, is displayed. Somewhere first name plus last name, and so on. And basically, that's all from me. Thank you everyone for your attention. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for joining us in today's deep dive into the future of data management within Dynamics 365. If today's insights into tackling duplicate data resonated with you, imagine the impact of streamlined data on your operations. Don't miss out on our upcoming content. We will continue to decode the complexities of Dynamics 365 and Power Platform, offering you expert insights and practical solutions. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated.